Hey everyone! If you are an aspiring leader, an emerging manager, or honestly just someone striving to master your own daily habits, you are in the exact right place. Today, we're diving into this explainer to decode a fascinating daily habit guide, and we're doing it by crossing two completely different worlds, ancient military strategy and modern business philosophy. Our goal here? To build a practical, totally bulletproof framework for your daily leadership routine.
So, you might be wondering, what on earth connects an ancient military general like Sun Tzu to a modern business icon like Stephen Covey? I mean, at first glance, the bloody battlefields of ancient China and the pristine, glass-walled boardrooms of modern corporate America seem to have absolutely nothing in common, right? But when we actually dig into the source material, we find something incredible. Sun Tzu's battlefield tactics and Stephen Covey's boardroom principles, they share the exact same core DNA. They are essentially teaching the identical laws of leadership.
Here is the fundamental premise that both of these brilliant minds demand. Leading others is completely impossible without first commanding yourself. Internal mastery absolutely must precede external influence. You literally cannot direct an army, a team, or a company if you haven't figured out how to direct your own mind and habits first.
To break this down, we're going to walk through a four-step daily roadmap for a truly effective leader. First up, self-mastery. Second, mental creation. Third, empathy. And finally, renewal. Let's dive right in. Section 1. Character as your bedrock.
So Stephen Covey argues heavily for what he calls the character ethic. He lists things like integrity, humility, and courage as the absolute bedrock of human effectiveness. And right alongside that, Sun Tzu places moral law first in his rules of war. He asserts that a leader absolutely must embody wisdom, integrity, and benevolence. It's pretty simple. Without this bedrock, you're never going to truly align with the followers you hope to lead.
All right, Section 2, Securing the Private Victory.
This is a huge one. Covey defines the private victory as that vital self-awareness and self-discipline that has to always precede any public victory. Think about it. As a leader, you can't just waltz into a meeting and expect to achieve a public victory with your team if you haven't actually won the private victory with yourself that morning. You have to secure this internal win daily before you even attempt to direct anyone else.
And Sun Tzu warned about the exact same thing. He knew that a lack of self-mastery inevitably leads to emotional impulsiveness. And whether you're on a literal battlefield or just in a super tense Monday morning marketing meeting, reckless emotional impulsiveness leads directly to defeat. When you lack the private victory, you just react defensively. But when you have it, you respond strategically.
Moving on to Section 3, Winning Before the Action.
This concept is captured perfectly in Covey's Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. The core philosophy here is that all things are created twice. First, there's a mental creation, and only then is there a physical creation. Winning your daily life battles requires you to be an architect first. You got to draw up that clear mental creation of your objective before you ever step onto the field of execution.
And Sun Tzu backs this up with such striking simplicity. Many calculations lead to victory. I love that quote. Deep strategic calculation is always vastly superior to mere operational busyness. As an emerging leader, it's so easy to get caught up sending emails, putting out fires, and just feeling busy. But busyness isn't leadership. Strategic calculation, that mental creation, is what actually paves the road to victory.
Now for Section 4, Leading Through Win-Win.
Covey advocates heavily for think win-win and seek first to understand. He's really focused on using empathy to build high-trust relationships. And Sun Tzu mirrors this strategy perfectly by prioritizing influence and clever positioning over brute force and authority. Both of these masters completely agree. Forcing your will upon someone else is the absolute weakest form of leadership.
Sun Tzu states this so elegantly. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. This right here represents the absolute highest pinnacle of leadership. If you find yourself having to yell, coerce, or forcefully pull rank to get your team to do something, well, you've kind of failed as a leader. Supreme excellence is getting everyone aligned without the friction of a fight.
So we really need to completely reframe what breaking resistance means. It is not about bulldozing the other side. Through Covey's win-win lens, breaking resistance is truly about deep empathy. It's about understanding the other person's needs so incredibly well that you can create mutual benefit. Because when everyone wins, resistance just naturally dissolves.
Which brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the habit of renewal.
Covey's Habit 7 is called Sharpen the Saw, and it instructs leaders to regularly renew their physical, mental, and spiritual selves. This perfectly mirrors Sun Tzu's strict mandate for adaptability. Sun Tzu teaches that a leader must be like water, modifying plans according to circumstances and fiercely avoiding rigid thinking. Listen, if you don't renew your mind and body daily, you become rigid, and rigid leaders, they get broken.
So looking at everything we've covered in this explainer, it's pretty clear how seamlessly the ancient military playbook translates into modern leadership habits. Whether you're consulting Sun Tzu or Stephen Covey, the truth remains identical. Leadership is an inside-out job, through and through. It starts with your character, it demands daily internal discipline, requires mental blueprinting, thrives on empathetic win-win influence, and it survives only through continuous renewal.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final, deeply personal question to reflect on right now. Have you secured your private victory today? Seriously, before you try to manage your team, answer those 50 emails, or lead that next big project, are you truly commanding yourself right now? Take a moment. Secure that internal min, and then go lead.